Can we just see the other pages where the redactions were implemented? Okay. Yes, all set.
right.
Thank you.
353 in evidence with the redactions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Can you please go to the first page of that document? So February 26th, February 28th, now we're up to March 2nd. And on March 2nd, a few days before Ms. Heard arrives in Australia, you text Nathan Holmes, and this is going to take a little bit just to kind of get through this, so appreciate the court and the jury's patience here. But you text him on number 73, and you say, "No, you're not. Why? That is not a part of the job description. And I'm telling you now, any one of any of you guys start to lecture me, I just do not want to hear it. No stupid bullshit about sappy bollocks. I am a grown fucking man, and I will not be judged." Did I read that right?
You did.
Keep going, please. "And I will never, ever live in this world cage any longer. I'll do whatever I damn well please. Okay." Did I read that right?
You did.
Then if we go on to the next page, please. You continue and say, "I don't want to depend on others for things like that. I'm not unhappy. I am insane." Big difference. Did I read that right?
You did.
"No system." Then you say, "I don't want to risk it for you or anyone. So I can get what I need. Also, may I be ecstatic again? Helps. Color me deceased." By ecstatic, you're referring to taking ecstasy, correct?
It's very likely. Before Ms. Heard arrived, she'd asked me to score either MDMA or ecstasy tablets before her arrival.
Okay. So once again, Ms. Heard's at fault for these texts.
I'm not blaming her for the text. I'm just stating the facts.
Okay. Well, let's talk about those facts. So
Okay.
Ms. Heard arrives in March in 2015. Go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's go down one, Michelle, because we're going to fast forward a few days and we're going to come back to this. Actually, just one day. This is when you text Mr. I don't even remember if it was Holmes or Duders at this point. Mr. Holmes, correct? And you text him and you say,
This is
"Yeah,
on
Mr.
the
Holmes."
7th.
Yeah, so
Yes.
we fast forwarded another couple of days, I guess, 5 days. And you say, "Need more whitey stuff ASAP, brother man, and the e-business, please. I'm in bad shape. Say nothing to nobody." Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Okay. And I wanted to take a look at that, Mr. Depp, because you just testified that Ms. Heard was the one who wanted ecstasy. But in fact, when you sent this text on March 7th, 2015, this was right after you cut your finger off.
No.
And right after you told the doctor that you cut your finger off, you were asking for cocaine and ecstasy. That's entirely possible, correct?
I'm not sure that you have the date correct about when my finger was chopped off.
Okay. Okay, let's take a look.
I'm pretty sure that the date was the 8th.
Now, Mr. Depp, you remember testifying, let's put it this way. Sometimes these texts, the dates of the text messages, you would agree that they're obviously Australia is 12 hours different from this part of the world, correct? Or something like that.
Something like that. Sure, I'll agree with you on that.
So the date stamps and time stamps that are reflected on these texts may be reflecting a different time than when they were actually sent.
Objection foundation calls for speculation.
You'd agree with that, right?
No, I'll sustain the objection.
Okay. Okay. Well, then let's do this. So is it your testimony that right after you cut your finger off, that you, or right after, I won't give you anything to argue with me yet, right after you sustained an injury to your finger,
Sorry.
that you, right after you sustained an injury to your finger, is it your testimony that you did not ask for cocaine and ecstasy right after you told the doctor about your finger injury? Is that your testimony?
Regardless of what date you believe works within the world time zone, I don't believe that someone who has gone through opiate dependency, who has lost the ability to produce dopamine and serotonin in their own body, because that's what the opiate does. Your body no longer needs to make the dopamine or the serotonin. The dopamine and serotonin, as you know, I imagine, are things that keep us it gives us our moods. It gives us.
I appreciate that, but my question wasn't that. My question was,
I'm just trying
right
to
after
school
you told the doctor about your finger injury, you were asking for coke. It's entirely possible that you were asking for cocaine and ecstasy.
Objection
Yes
calls
or
for
no?
speculation.
No, I'll allow that question. Answer it.
Clearly, need more Whitey stuff. Yes, it's a reference to cocaine, but that doesn't. There's nothing here that says that I ingested the drug.
Not saying there is, but you were asking for more cocaine and you were asking for more ecstasy, correct?
I wasn't asking for more ecstasy. I was asking for ecstasy because that was what I was requested by Ms. Hurt.
Let's take a look at the UK transcript day 3. Permission to approach with that,
All right.
Your Honor?
Okay.
Day 3. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I'm sorry. I'm going to ask you to turn to page 463 and 464 of this, please.
Sure thing. 460.
Are you there?
I'm there, just reading it, sorry.
And on page 463, line 20, you're asked a question, Mr. Depp, what I am asking you about, and I think your barrister, Mr. Sherborne, agrees, the times we have to factor in, it may be we can put in an agreed local Australian time, but what is important, do you see, is the order that you have cut your finger off, and straight away, after telling your doctor that you cut your finger off, you are asking for cocaine and ecstasy. Answer, yes, that is what it. Question, that is what it looks like. Answer, appears to be, and it is entirely possible that I was in the state that I was in. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.